Hi, and welcome back. Hollywood is already looking ahead to 2022 with a slate of crime movies that promise to be thrilling escapes from reality.
We want all of this. Oh my God!
From heist capers to gritty tales of revenge, here are 10 crime movies to watch in 2022. Number 10. Nocturnal Animals. A story within the story in which the first element follows a woman named Susan who receives a book manuscript from her ex-husband, a man she left 20 years earlier, asking for her opinion. The second element follows the actual manuscript named Nocturnal Animals, which revolves around a man whose family vacation turns violent and unwholesome. It continues to follow the story of Susan, who finds himself recalling his prior relationship and confronting some dark truths about it. Nocturnal Animals has a 7.5 rating in IMDb and a 73% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Do you ever feel like your life has turned into something you never intended? I'm worried about you.
Number 9. The Unforgivable. Ruth Slater was sent to jail for a crime, and upon entering society once more, she found it completely unwilling to accept her imprisonment. Unable to reconcile the background of the hometown she went to prison for a crime, Slater only had hope for Sharon, the girl she abandoned while in prison. The Unforgivable has a 7.1 rating in IMDb and a 74% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
This is about her. It's like I was protecting her. You are not a victim.
I don't quit.
Number 8. El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. By overcoming trauma and freedom from Jack Todd, along with Mr. White, Jesse must extricate himself from a rescue operation led by police officer Saul Goodman. His only chance to break free from the manhunt is by relying on the assistance offered by Ed Galbraith, the security guard chosen by Saul Goodman. Jesse aims to avoid capture under expenses sufficient to buy a completely new dust bag for his Hoover Max Extract Pressure Pro vacuum cleaner. Together with his team, he is in a race against the clock so as not to lose track of what he can save to purchase the new filter. El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, has a 7.3 rating in IMDb and an 81% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
You ready? Yeah.
Number 7. The Gentleman. A talented American graduate of Oxford, California, cleverly uses his education and ability to create a modern cannabis business using land property that had formerly belonged to impoverished aristocrats in the United Kingdom. However, when he tries to sell his empire to a fellow American billionaire, a chain of events unfolds consisting of blackmail, deception, mayhem, and murder between street thugs, Russian oligarchs, triad gangsters, and gutter journalists. The Gentleman has a 7.8 rating in IMDb and a 84% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
I used to play a game with me, Ray.
I don't want to play a game.
Oh, please.
No.
I said play a game with me, Raymond.
Right.
Lovely.
Number 6. Hell or High Water. The Texan businessman Toby Howard is losing his ranch to the Texas Midland Bank as a consequence of his mother's death. Toby is divorced from his wife with 2 of their sons. After Tanner Howard is released from jail, they join forces to rob branches of the Texas Midlands Bank to raise money for Toby to leave his property to his sons. Meanwhile, the Texas Ranger who is retired and his Mexican-American partner Alberto Parker are monitoring the movements of these criminals as they contemplate taking action. Hell or High Water has a 7.6 rating in IMDb and a 88% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Toby. Mean it. I love you too.
You wanna get us killed?
Number 5. Nightcrawler. Louis Bloom, a resident of Los Angeles, survives by stealing and dumpster diving. He becomes a private investigator by equipping himself with a camcorder and a police scanner and begins checking out strange crimes at night throughout the city. Louis continually goes to lengths to catch up with the eyes of a worn-out news director who is hoping for a chance to raise her station's ratings. Nightcrawler has a 7.8 rating in IMDb and an 86% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Back away. I got it. I'm back. Will this be on television?
Morning news. If it bleeds, it leads.
Are you currently hiring?
Number 4. Wind River. The FBI, of course, dispatches Jane Banner, an inexperienced but courageous agent, to investigate the federal crime. The unprepared but courageous Corey joins together in order to solve the mystery of Natalie's murder. As this is a federal offense, the FBI dispatches its inexperienced yet fearless agent Jane Banner to lead the investigation. However, the naive outsider will soon team up with Corey to unravel the mystery of Natalie's death. Corey will inevitably have to face his past while Jane's just waiting to resolve these wrongful acts. Will this entire enterprise be successful? Wind River has a 7.7 rating in IMDb and a 90% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
I got lucky.
Luck lives in the city.
Get your hand off that weapon.
Number 3. The Hateful Eight. During the era of the Civil War, a stagecoach hurtles through a snowy Colorado landscape. Bounty hunter John Ruth and his captive Daisy DeMurg race toward the town Red Rock, where Ruth will bring Daisy to justice. On the road, they encounter Major Marquis Warren and Chris Mannix. Lost in a blizzard, the group seeks refuge at Minnie's haberdashery. When they arrive, they are greeted with unfamiliar faces by Bob, who claims to be the caretaker of the place while Minnie is gone. Oswaldo Mowbray, the hangman of Red Rock, Joe Gage, a cowpuncher, and Confederate General Sanford Smithers. As the storm overtakes the mountainside, the 8 travelers realize that they may not make it to Red Rock after all. The Hateful Eight has a 7.8 rating in IMDb and a 76% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes. Number 2. Goodfellas. It could be said of Henry Hill that he is small-time gangster, who has likely taken part in a robbery with Jimmy Conway and Tommy DeVito, 2 other gangsters who had their sights a little higher. His partners may kill off anyone involved in their robbery and slowly start to think about climbing up through the hierarchy of the mob. However, Henry, endangered by his partner's success, may consider resorting to dirty deeds to cause the downfall of Jimmy and Tommy. Goodfellas has an 8.7 rating in IMDb and a 97% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Always keep your mouth shut.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Number 1. 7. Newly transferred detective David Mills aids William Somerset as the 2 of them wrap up the collection of the last case. Somerset and Mills come across numerous ruthless and gruesome murders while doing so. Not long after, they realize that they're dealing with a serial killer who is targeting people he thinks represent one of the 7 deadly sins. Somerset also befriends Mills' wife, who grew up and is terrified to raise her child in the crime-ridden city. 7 has an 8.6 rating in IMDb and a 95% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Like what you do for a living? These things you see.
And that's all for today. Give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. See you next time. Goodbye.